Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we're going to look at the progression of my free-to-play account. But first we're going to talk about how to progress if you created an account in this update, because your progression is going to be slightly different from the one of my free-to-play account. I cannot really create a new account again, it would be too time consuming. I cannot really afford to do it, but I still prepared some sort of progression example as I shared in the previous videos on my beginner guide. Everything is pretty much the same at the very least for this update. Uh, we have obviously a different focus because we don't have access on day one to work banner. We have to pull for Luslec. It's still fine. It won't really change too much. What will change is most likely starting from the next update, because we don't have any starting EX banner, which is really annoying. It's going to be crazy to start a new account from the next update. It's going to be a lot worse. Not much we can do about it. I will still try to put a progression example, but that will be absolutely not accurate. Already the one for the Luslec update is not really that accurate because I didn't really firsthand try it. I just lowered a bit the progression, slow it down, because this time around you cannot get 2 EX units to Rainbow 5 like we could, for example, with the Urek banner in the previous update. So that was that is a lot different, obviously, but still the progression will be decent. And I would say I saw a lot of people making mistakes when pulling or asking question about whether they should go for Luslec or Urek. There is no choice to be made. You pull both. Period. Like, you don't have to be worried because as a new player, you have a ton of resources. Literally, you cannot, like, if you want, for the next 6 update, you can afford to max every single unit that comes out. Period. You don't have to worry, should I pull or not? I mean, for the next units, yes, but for the EX units, you don't have to worry about should I pull or not? Do I have to wait? No, just go ahead, pull. You have enough resources. Literally, new players get so much you won't really finish your resources. You have to be smart at a certain point. So for the next updates, I'm going to mention which ones I think should be picked if you started like my free-to-play account, because that's the only reference point that I have. So for Tiara and BAM, we're going to focus on that. But yeah, in general, you have the resources to potentially pull anything for the first 3 months of playtime, let's say, but it could be tricky if you do some wrong investments. So be mindful still, but don't be too worried. It's not the end of the world. So for the progression, if you started with Luslec, you will see in the progression example the right category here from November 26 to December 10. We see the day one is basically the same. You can get to 31, no problem, and you will be using Luslec and Hugo to do that. Then on day two, I would expect already people to be on floor 45 more or less. I think it's a bit lower than the previous one, or maybe it's the same. Doesn't really matter too much. And by this point, if you also push Trial of Chaos and a bit of hard mode, then you should be around Rainbow on both units. Then on day three, you gain access to the Welcome Advent Summon banner that is going to last for 21 days. This one also has Urek in it. You obviously have to pick Urek. The other two are not even an option, and you already have a Tromray anyway, so that's fine. So you have to pick for Urek, absolutely. If you start obviously in this update, in the previous one you didn't have to because you already had the Urek banner available. But in this one, absolutely pick Urek, and I would say get him to 0 dupes immediately so that you have an additional unit to leverage, because you're getting closer to floor 51. It might be needed. It's also a nice addition early on if you want to add him with Hugo, maybe if you're still running 2 teams. So that's good. Then on day 4, I would expect you to have also Luslec Rainbow 5 and Urek potentially blue-ish, kind of. Doesn't really matter. You cannot get into Rainbow 5 unless your luck is crazy, because you only have 1,000 summons. I already exchanged 100. I'm going to go over a mistake I made. It doesn't matter. So you have up to 1,000 total summons, which is not enough to get you to Rainbow 5. Again, unless you're lucky. The realistic expectation would be red 3, orange 1, 2, orange 3, maybe. So between red and orange, I'd say. That's the realistic expectation. If you have average luck, should be orange, like high orange, let's say. And with that, you are obviously at a disadvantage compared to somebody that started in the previous update, but it doesn't matter too much. It means you have a bit more tickets to use for the next SSR Plus units or anniversary. And then on UREC rerun, which is going to happen likely in 4 or 5 months, then you will be able to max him out without too many issues. So that's still okay. UREC can still perform. It's sad that it does not have access to the HP percent portion of his kit, but it's still a really solid unit nonetheless. So that's still fine. And for the other days, the focus is still kind of the same. You want to go Albelda for your second non-stop SR Plus pick. That's mainly because Albelda works really well with Luslec, and you can have a pretty cheap starting team for Luslec. It's not a must, and I will say for the next update where you don't start with an EX banner, I would probably change the pick, to be honest, but we're going to mention that more in detail as we get to the next update. I would probably switch to Heljo, I think. But yeah, for now, if you start on this update, I would pick Albelda because they make a great pair. You have 3 teams anyway. You have Luslec, Hugo, and you have your Urek. Then for the 4th one, I would go Rashut. So you should be getting a Rashut, I think, from the check-in event. But if it's too late, you can always use an SR Plus chest and get her. It's not that big of a deal. Or you can get her from the PT in the normal banner or the gem shop, but the gem shop is a bit further away for new accounts, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, just Rashut would be a great 4th DPS. For the 5th one, we're going to see again on this account, but you kind of have to use Cha more or less. So yeah, that's the idea. And I would say the rest of the progression is kind of similar. So we go for Cha, Rashut, 0 dupes, and nothing much really changed. I would say focus, because I always kind of wrote it here at the end of these days, but focus on your 3 essence. I don't want to see people that don't have a swiftness 3 essence. I don't want to say completed, but almost done on day 8. So for day 8, I added like a 20 B rank swiftness nodes, which is basically all of them except for 4 as an average. You have to aim for that. You cannot be at this point with random 3 essence facilities. It's not acceptable, guys. We get enough resources. A lot of teams need that additional swiftness, so you have to do it. That's absolutely important. And I also saw some people, somehow, that started the previous update, don't have a maxed out Urek, still picked Gustang in this one. So they now have a non-maxed Luslec, a non-maxed Urek, and a like green something Gustang. That is not the way we play this game. Do not half invest in multiple units. Focus hard on one. Normally it's either 0 dupes or Rainbow 5. There are some units that have good enough power spikes, at like 3 red, orange 4 maybe. But normally it's either the unit is good enough at 0 dupes, you can just afford to get him at 0 dupe and be fine, or go all the way to Rainbow 5. Don't do like blue unit, purple unit, whatever. No. Just either you go all in and you have the resources to max the unit out, or you get them at 0 dupes if they're good at 0 dupes, or just forget about them. That's the smarter way, because you cannot proceed in the game with half invested units. That does not work. You need them either fully duped or no dupes, and they will do something. So that's one thing that I wanted to mention, because I saw some scenarios like this, and it's not good, guys. Trust me, just max the unit out if you can, or skip it if you cannot afford it, period. So now, let me quickly mention the mistake I made here. And I was like, okay, I have a good amount of tickets. Let me try to get a 0 dupe copy of Gusten just in case I want him for CC and stuff. I obviously shafted hard and I got him on like 96 pools. So I went 10 at the time. I was like, nothing on the first one. I was like, okay, I expected. Nothing on the second one. I was like, okay, fine. Nothing on the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. 7th, 8th. I was like, okay, damn it, 100. It was 96 in the end, but still garbage. So yeah, I wasted 90 black market tickets and 5K suspendium. So a bit sad, but it doesn't matter. I still have kind of the resources for Tiara. I would push a bit more. I still have to try to clear this weekend, so I'm not too worried. It was a calculated risk. I was hoping to take maybe 20, 30, 40 black market tickets. That was probably delusional on my side. I was happy with the average of around 60 to 70. That also did not happen. I went all the way to 100, so it is what it is. But yeah, kind of calculated risk. I don't recommend it. So guys, if you are in doubt, don't do it. It's completely stupid. And yeah, I also only used him once, and it was really not needed, to be honest, but fine. So yeah, that's a mistake I made, and I don't recommend anyone to do it. Goose Tank is not really that important. Zerdupe's a bit too investment heavy, and I don't have the means to actually use him, to be honest. So that's just a mistake. Then, since a lot of people asked, I will create a spending guide. I have an old one that is still accurate, I would say, mainly because in that video I explain how I think about purchasing packages, because I always do a conversion to suspendium, and then based on how much suspendium per dollar I get, I decide whether it's a pack that is good, average, or just trash. That's the way I approach it. I will highlight it in a written guide on the website, and I will make another video on it. But in this one, I just wanted to mention a few good packs that as a new player you are getting. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the hot deals for the floor clears, but they're absolutely amazing. When you clear from floor 70 to 100, you get a lot of black market tickets, like 130. Then you get 5,000, I think, Orange Revolution mats and some Trescent mats for, was it $15? I don't even remember, but it was fairly cheap. So that's really a good pack. Also, the previous floors from 51 to 70, and I think also from 30 to 50. I don't know. There are 3 different stages. They are all pretty valuable. So they're all good packs to buy if you want. There are a lot of them because there is one per floor. So could get expensive. Only think about buying multiple if you are a big whale or plan on being a big whale, because that's a lot of tickets. That's thousands of tickets. Really good. But the most common ones that people are buying at the moment, I hope I still have it, are the, here in the growth section, the special SSR Plus growth pass. You can select a unit. Let's say, I don't know. It doesn't have to be one that you have at 0 dupes, because then you're going to get a different item when the unit is maxed out. But let's take, I don't know, random Sharon. No, actually, let's take a unit that I would normally recommend, which would be Rashut. So you select Rashut, and then here you get 22 Rashuts, period. The first one when you buy, and then you clear 21 stages, so not floors, just stages, and then you get 1 copy per stage, which is a Rainbow 5 unit. If you already have the unit on the last stage, you will get like 5,000 of the, like as a replacement. If you already have the unit maxed by then, you will get 5,000 revolution mats, the orange ones, which is not a bad deal. And yeah, this is definitely amazing. Like the value per dollar here is massive. Really amazing pack. They gave it to everybody, and it's really massive. Great, great, great pack. Another bundle that you might have access to, and I don't anymore, is a check-in pass where you can get 17 SSR Plus units and a lot of SSR. I would say that is still decent value if you want. It's not as good as the other one because it's not 17 of a unit of your choice. It's between a pick of 5 that you can select, if I remember correctly. And you get quite a good number of SSR, which is decent because now we don't get as many SSR as we were used to. So it wouldn't be a bad pack. I think the value is definitely above average. It's not as good as the maxed out SSR Plus unit, but it's still decent. These ones are more if you want to be a spender in the long run. So the Tower of God Premium, the 100-day pack with the black market tickets and normal tickets, this one with Revolution mats. This one as well you could potentially get is really Not great value because it's less copies than the maxed out SSR Plus unit, but it gives you more choices. You can finish multiple units potentially. I don't recommend using all of them on the same unit. I would say get the units up with the secret recruitment over time. Don't worry too much about them. Then when they're close to max, like red, orange, better if orange, then you can max 2, 3, 4 of them and get them to rainbow. That's how I would use this chest if you decide to buy them. It's a bit steep, so if you don't have a lot of budget, it's not really the best purchase, but it's still okay. Then let me see if we had any additional good packs. Okay, maybe I need to spend a couple of words for this one. These 300 SSR Plus shards, they are basically never worth it. All the random shit, since you cannot control what you're getting, it's complete garbage. And also $10 is not really that cheap anyway. So I don't like them. I don't recommend them, period. All the like ship stuff, don't buy it. Not worth it at all. Not worth your money. It's only for very big whales. So don't bother with it. Maybe I should also spend a couple of words for the 1000 spending shop. I would recommend for like new accounts, like also mine, to get at least the green revolution fragments because you might need them initially. They're not a good long-term investment, but at the very beginning stages, they're quite good. I don't like to spend too much on it, at least not yet. Even though I have 134k, I still don't want to bother. We're getting more over time. We're going to get a lot of reruns of the 1000 spending shop. There is no rush, so I wouldn't bother with it. Other packages in the starter, there is nothing really too valuable. Sure, you could go for the welcome ticket for the SSR. It's not too expensive, but I don't like it. I think it's really a stupid deal from their side. These 100 black market tickets are not the worst in terms of value. Selling 10 of them is maybe a bit too much, but yeah, not a huge fan. Definitely don't get the single SSR Plus chest for $26 or maybe $23. I don't even remember the prices in dollars, but it's not valuable. So in general, be very mindful, do the conversion to Suspendium, and then decide if it makes sense or not. I think the threshold to define a good pack would be 3,000. If it's below 3,000 Suspendium per dollar, then it's kind of a okay. If it's between 2,000 to 3,000, it's decent. Above 3,000 is great, and below 2,000, I'd avoid it. But I will make a video with the clear threshold. For now, just take it as a reference. Maybe the I would say the pack that you get. Okay, not the guide pass because this is also amazing. You should definitely get the guide pass if you want to spend. That's a free maxed out SSR Plus unit. So absolutely, and you also get a ton of resources. So this is no brainer. Absolutely amazing. And then if you go in the growth, you have to consider 22 copies for $23 as kind of the standard, and one copy of an SSR Plus unit. Realistically, I would consider it about 50 black market tickets on a 2% rate banner, which is normally what they come with. We could argue that it would be a bit higher than that because you might get screwed by pulling. You might only hit PT, which is 100 in the dedicated banner or 200 in the black market. So for that reason, we could go for like 30k per copy. In this case, we get 22 copies. This is like 600, let's say 600k Suspendium. You divide it by 23, that's a shit ton per dollar. So this is crazy value. If you get something else that is half of that value, let's say 5,000, for example, Suspendium per dollar, that is still insane value. Really good, among the best packs. Not easy to get. Probably the floor clear packs are around that amount. So if you are a spender that doesn't want to spend too much, those are good deals. Anything lower than that, you really want, like, you need to think about, do I want to invest that amount of money on the game? But again, I'm spending too much time on this topic for this video, and I don't want to talk any more than this. So we can move on, I would say, to the next point. But I will be making a guide for this. And I think actually main mistakes and points that I wanted to discuss are these. Now let's quickly go through what changed in terms of progression. I didn't really push too much normal adventure. I got to hard mode 71. I think I was not there in the last video I made. Maybe it was 60, maybe a bit less. So I focused a bit more on hard mode. And for normal adventure, I just pushed a couple of floors, nothing much. For units, I got, okay, Ghost thing. I gave him a random Barry, it doesn't matter. I had some pieces leveled up. Fine, I'm not really using them, but okay. For other units, I didn't really get much. Let me double check, but I think it's pretty much the same as before. I'm not using any strange unit. I didn't do any additional investments. I used the Runda Augustus, but I mentioned that in the previous video as well when we were going through the 5 teams. I would say, in terms of unit investment, nothing really changed. It's the same as before. Also for Luslec, I'm running a 4-piece Barry, no upgrades. Revolution, I think it is no upgrade as well. Or maybe accuracy. Maybe accuracy. Okay, I did accuracy. For some reason, maybe it was a bit low, even though it's a 100% accuracy increase, so it's definitely not needed. But okay, you never know. And that's about it. No, I think I did it because I started to see some misses on Ren Bull, I think. And I was like, how is that possible? Then I looked at my accuracy. I multiplied by 2 for the 100% increase. Then I looked at Ren Evasion. I increased it by 60% because the Bull has 160% of his stats. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a bit below. So I did the increase, but it shouldn't be needed on most enemies. It's just Ren Bull is a bit of a special case. But okay, that's kind of it. For the Trescents, I didn't touch it. I have a lot of resources, so I will do it. Origin Orb, a bit more progress, but nothing much. I got halfway through with purple, halfway through with red, blue as well. Only green is missing. I need a few more books, like 9, and then I'm done with green as well. And that's all. Shinsu links increased because I pushed hard mode, so no surprises there. And we can probably clear some stuff as a test. Okay, I'm not in the multi-stage, so let's quickly get there. And yeah, this team is irrelevant. We just have... Why am I even using Anna? I don't know, but doesn't matter. I should have used probably something else. Maybe Albelda linked to Luslec and then just work as a frontline, but okay, it hardly matters, really. Let's see. I'm thinking if, in the meantime, I have anything else to mention here in the guide. Because I saw a lot of people that were confused here when I had Albelda as the second unit. This was never in order. I always wrote like would be one of the following, but not in order. Normally when they are ordered by preference or something, I write it like this. So order from left to right based on personal preference, as an example here. In this case, it was not like that. It's just, these are the units I would consider going for as the second option. And I did not include Evan. I don't think Evan is a good pick in any case in this scenario. It is a good pick in the paid pack to get them directly to Rainbow 5, but not here. And I also wrote here that I personally selected Albelda. That was before we knew Albelda was good with Luslec, so I was kind of lucky. I saw a lot of people also picked Eljo. They're not too happy about it. And that's mainly because we now have 2 EX units we can use. But starting from the next update, then Albelda is definitely not going to be the best pick. I would say either Heljo or Eden are going to be the best picks. I think Heljo, because we won't have access to Luslec. So purple is basically free. We can go Reflejo, Hanna, and all the purple units with Heljo, which is going to be great. And I think it will make a very good additional DPS. Not the best, it will eventually fall off, but is more than good enough for the initial stages. So I would rather go with Heljo at that point. So you go first, second Heljo, so you have an additional DPS option. Wait a second, don't start. No. I wanted to rearrange the teams. We need to look for the matchups. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that as well. I will make sure to make a video for people that start after the next update, which it's going to be sad for them because those updates are going to suck a little bit. But yeah. So in terms of teams, let's see if I made any additional changes. I think maybe Spear Baranak was not in Rick Team. Let me check the ones that I shared with you below. Yeah, like Spear Baranak was not there. There was Kunagero instead. Fine, doesn't matter. We have 3 frontline with Luslec, which is fine. The team, yeah, okay, the chat team is the same. The team for Rashut is the same as well. We don't need Chomray, potentially we can replace him, but it's fine. The last one is also the exact same, yes. The only change is that I replaced Kunagero with Spear Baranak, which makes sense because I have access to her. People that start this update don't, so that's also one pretty big difference. But it hardly matters. I mean, Urek can kill anything anyway. So now, the first thing that I always check when we start a multi-stage fight is that I need to understand which team Cha has the highest likelihood of killing. We want to avoid units like Hiwa, like the SSR plus Hiwa, because she's going to decrease energy of the team. If Evan doesn't get the special moves back to back to back, we're screwed. So we want to avoid that. We have no way of stopping her. I mean, if she's in the front line, Cha can kind of do something, and if Irang is quick enough to use the special move before the enemy anniversary Hiwa uses hers, then it's okay because Cha is going to prevent Hiwa from casting the special move, but that hardly ever happens. So that's a matchup I try to avoid. I also try to avoid Garam, which is going to be frequent after floor 91. And that's a pretty annoying matchup. Even when you are 5 against 1, you will hardly ever kill her. She heals a bit too much. We don't have HP recovery block in this team. We cannot slot it in, so not much we can do. Any component of this team is kind of necessary. I would say Irang is the least necessary, but then we lack grouping, which means enemies will be able to use their own special moves super frequently because Cha cannot hit all of them. So yeah, Irang is still kind of necessary. You could replace her with Gustang if you have him. I don't recommend it because it's still not a great grouping anyway. So yeah, that's the idea. And other matchups that are particularly annoying, not really, but there are still some that I would avoid. Maybe like if there are too many tanky enemies or enemies with shields, because also shields are a bit of a pain, I would avoid. The team they're against is not too bad. I don't like Kaiser too much, but she cannot kill anybody. Kaiser is mostly annoying for work a little bit if your deficit is too high. Now after I increase the links, that is not the case anymore, so I'm not too worried. Gustang could be annoying, like Data Gustang, but thanks to Irang is not the worst matchup, and then he's going to have no energy, he cannot really heal allies, so it's still fine. We could keep that matchup, is fine. Also matchup number 2 is okay. Maybe I would swap Yugo out. I don't like Yugo against multi-target units. Like for example, yeah, multi-target, I mean multi-summons. I don't know why stupid Google Gemini started. Every now and then my phone catches up, but fine. So I will try to use Yugo against single target enemies. I don't want to have to deal with the drones. They might like Distractor. And I don't have Irang in Yugo team, which is always a bit annoying. So that's the setup we are going to use. I could probably slot in Gustang in Yugo's team, but I don't expect it to be a major problem. And yeah, I don't want to push too much in this video, just because otherwise it's another crazy long video. And I'd rather avoid that and spend some time maybe starting to work on other guides. I also want to make a floating ship guide, we'll see. But okay. Okay, this is not going well. Should still be fine because they all died. We need to see if Mashini will, like, her passive will expire soon enough. Okay. It was close. I don't know why that Reflejo died that frequently, like that quickly. I didn't pay attention to it. Then in this fight, I just had Bam to give initial energy for Sharon and Hugo, but then he died. He's fine. We don't care. And we have Hockney that keeps on providing energy for Yugo, which is higher uptime on the barrier. That was kind of the idea. That's it. Then we have this team. This is the one that has the most issues. Evan already used the special move, which is great. We have hopefully the follow-up, a bit late, but okay, we're still alive. So now we can keep on using the special move. The Runda on Augustus is extremely helpful. As you can see, you see all that 100 that keep coming up. We have Chow Sundance, so also positioning is crucial at the beginning so that it doesn't get hit by assassins or anything like that. Once the setup is running, so Evan is using the special moves, Irang is grouping, everything is kind of okay. Unless you went for a matchup that requires a high DPS check, you should be fine. So unless they have a lot of heals and a lot of barriers, Cha will deal with them with Sundance. So yeah, just be mindful of matchups. You cannot really auto at this point. You will have to actively play, but you shouldn't be stuck in any given stage. This team is absolute insanity. They always clear everything. Literally insane. Absolutely insane. Zero dupes or shoot is a machine, but with that amount of support is fine. And then we have Urek, he should have no problems clearing up. It was rather quick, so I guess we can go for the next multi-stage as well. I just wish the animations were a bit faster. Let's go for 103.52. And this is day 21 or 22 for my account, I don't even remember. I need to check if I need to add 1 or 2 days here. I don't recall if I did it already. I only did the bracket up to day 20, so I need to add something. I might even, no, okay, I will create a new one because the links will increase quite a bit with that amount of R mode clears. So yeah, I will try to create a new one, but don't expect crazy progress because you don't necessarily need it. You can wait for Tiara release a little bit. You can also use the trial for the SSR Plus units, which is going to be super helpful. I think new players are not used to trials because we got the EX units in the last 2 updates and they don't have trials. No, actually, the last one, we just did the rerun for Urek, so we also had an SSR Plus unit. But it was not a great DPS, so it's fine. With Tiara, I would expect that the trial could help quite a bit. So let's see, we have one more stage, and then we have the multi-stage fight, the multi-deck fight, however they call it. Yeah, one more thing. I saw some people going directly for a lot of copies of any of these SSR units. Remember, rotate the unit at the different milestones that the missions require you. So blue 3, purple 3, 3 red, orange 4. You have to rotate these 3 units. And by rotate, I mean one of them is the leftmost unit with the rate up. Once that unit reaches this limit break level, you then switch them off for one of the other two. That's how to approach it. Otherwise, completed missions will be delayed. You will have an harder time and stuff like that. Now, let's look again at the matchup. So, for example, this first team, I don't want in any way my chat team to face. Garam cannot be killed. We also have an annoying tank Urek. So there is no way we can kill that. There is also no way we can kill the team they're currently against. There is no way I can clear team number 4. So my best bet, even though I hate Joaquin because his Jolt is a pain in the ass, but it's a special move, Cha should be able to deal with that. So this is what we're going to do. I would say Hiwa can be dealt with easily by the Luslec team, by the Uruk team, potentially Rashid too, but I kind of don't like to go with the SSR plus Yura against an Iwa. It's normally not the best matchup. So I'm going to do something like this. So we're using Luslec. Luslec is going to start by reducing the enemy energy, so she won't use her special move basically for the whole fight. So that's what I'm relying on here. Should be okay. Then the hardest team, I will put work against. I would say that one I don't like at all. We have 2 units that could be annoying, plus one that lasts forever. This team here should still be feasible. Not a fan of going against Garam. Also, Garam is annoying to deal with for Cha team because she's going to use the cloak and remove from the battle Evan, which means my whole team is dead. So that's also why that matchup sucks. And we have the Yugo fight, should be okay. So let's give this one a shot. If we went with auto progress, maybe 4 out of 5 could have won, but the Cha team, no way. Literally impossible. Unless you're crazy lucky somehow, but I really doubt it. It's literally not possible. Garam is likely dead because she also was hit by the HP recovery block. So she should be gone by now. Only Mashani was left, but she also died. And this was the hardest fight on paper. The deficit is not too high, so I would expect also Yugo with a special move to quickly get rid of enemies. They're not too grouped up, but she should still be able to get rid of multiple ones. Nah, not really, actually. Maybe our AoE is a bit worse than I remember. Okay, that one was good. That was a nice hit. And then also Data Machine is gone. Now we have this team. Okay, this is another Garam. We're using Rashut. Let's see how it goes. As you can see, the energy on the enemy is super low. Okay, she got deleted, so no problem at all. But again, deficit is low, so the damage they output is really good. Barriers from Garam are removed by Tom Ray. Everything is fine. Now we have this one. This is also tricky because of Anniversary Iwa, but as you can see, energy is low on their side thanks to Luslec. Luslec, every time he uses the special move, is going to lower the energy. As we can see, there's literally no way for them to cast shit, and we're getting rid of enemies one at a time. Unfortunately, again, Luslec could die. No, we were lucky enough. He bursted down the remaining ones. Then he also has the passive, so he has 10 seconds to clean up, just in case. But yeah, absolutely great unit. We already have an Evan ult in, so the team should survive, unless there is anything crazy, but Joaquin has low energy. Hopefully we group them up and we are dead. But there should be no major issue, so we will wait for a retry. The goal here is not to have Evan Kell and Joaquin ever use their special moves, or we're going to be screwed. The grouping maybe didn't come at a good time. Also, they died for no reason. I think Evan was busy and didn't really use the special move. Was busy doing some weird Evan shit. Evan is one of the most unreliable at times. It just has the energy but decides not to use the special move because why? That's literally the only thing important in your kit, but why should I use it, right, Evan? Yep, sure. Why should I even bother to protect my allies? Fuck them. I agree. I think you're absolutely right, Evan. We should kill all of these stupid allies. They don't understand shit. So this went a bit better. We're still risking it. We could lose it. You never know. But obviously, overall, the situation is a bit better. They don't have any particular like HP recovery, any barriers, anything. It was just a matter of, I don't know, bad luck in the previous attempt. And that's kind of it, guys. That's all for the video. If you have any questions, any doubts, let me know in the comments. Or better, if you have a very, I would say, complicated question, or that you need to provide also images, screenshots, stuff like that, feel free to open a post in the help section on my my Discord server, and I will do my best to reply to you guys. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.